Hey crafty friends, I'm Peggy and welcome to my studio. Yesterday I shared a video of what I made for my swap partner, and it was the not so flat mail, and I've had a few requests for a tutorial. Now here's the full disclosure. I am going to be crafting by the seat of my pants because I did not write anything down. All I have is my video on the TV paused with the project open so I can see what I was doing. And I will try to link either up top in the cards, down below, or both, the walkthrough video, the one that I made for her. And also, if you hear a noise or see things kind of moving, I've got a fan on because here in Arizona, we're already up in the hundreds, so it's a little warm. Anyway, the paper that I'm going to be using is called Rose Quartz, and it's from Recollections, the Michaels brand. And I think I got it probably 2 years ago, so I'm not sure if it's still available or not. I did pull out some of the few cut aparts and things that are left over. I've been using this so sparingly. Ultimately, this is the piece that I'll be using, but I wanted to show you the scoring and cutting on just a plain piece of paper. So I thought it might be a little bit easier, and I hope this is showing up okay. I really can't tell on my monitor. Things always look a different color. But the first thing that you're going to do with, this is the top of your paper, you're going to take your piece of 12 by 12 cardstock and you're going to turn it one turn counterclockwise, and you're going to score at the 8-inch mark. That gives us our length and then our pocket depth. I'm going to turn it right back around. Now, for this one, for mine, I'm using double-sided paper. If you don't have it, it's fine. You'll be able to mat the inside where it's blank with a coordinating paper. It won't be a problem at all. Okay, once we turn it back around, I knew that I wanted the middle, the main bottom, to be 4 inches wide. So I scored at 4, and again at 8. And I knew, okay, when you turn it over, that will be the inside fold, that's the outside. So I knew I wanted to give the outside one a little bigger spine. So I scored at 8.5 inches. And then over on this other side, we're going to go just a 1/4 inch over, which is from 4 inches back to 3 3/4 inches, and score all the way down. Now again, once it's folded, this is going to make the outside pocket. This will fold up and make the inside pocket, and this piece is going away. But in order to get a gusset, to get a little more room on the inside, you need to first go down here below the 8-inch mark, and at 8 1/4, just score down from the 8-inch to the bottom. Again, now we're going to have to go over here from the 3 3/4 back to 3.5, and the easiest way is at the bottom of your scoreboard to go back 1, 2, and then score up and then down again, just to make sure it's good and solid. And that will give you your score lines. Okay, then we're done with this for now. Okay, now what we're going to do is some cutting. Like I said, number one, we're going to remove this piece. So what you're going to do is, okay, this is your middle pocket, and these are the gussets. You're going to cut this piece out just, I hope I'm not shaking you guys too much, just on this side of the score line. So just over here, just a hair to kind of cut out that score line. So you'll cut over this way. And then the same fashion, you're going to cut up over it just a hair. Again, just to cut that score line out. It makes it a little less bulky, and it looks a lot nicer once you score everything and fold it. And it looks really good. And then burnish, and you know what I mean. Okay. So there's that part. Now another thing we need to do is continue on cutting these two out so that makes a flap. So again, we're going to keep on that upper side of that score line. And then we're going to cut in just a little bit. Just like you always do for a pocket. Just to, again, bulk. You want to get rid of it. There we go. Now on this side, we're going to do the same thing, but opposite directions. So, well, actually, okay, that's true. But here's an easier way. We're going to cut first on this side of the score line so that this piece is nice and smooth. So we'll cut there first, right up that side of the score line. Okay. Then again, up over that score line. I hope you guys can see okay. And in, yeah, I ripped it a little bit. It's no big deal. In to make that little flap. Now you're going to, this probably sounds a lot more difficult than it is. I'm just going to cut that in again. But we're also going to cut that score line off here. And if it's not perfect, you know, it doesn't matter because it's going to be on the inside anyway and nobody will know it's there but you. And again, we're going to snip that. Okay. And that, if I can pull that out, that is what you're left with. And that will get us to this point of my pattern paper. So I hope that was helpful. Okay. Because it's a little bit difficult to see on this paper. Okay, so now you're going to go in and you're going to burnish all of your score lines. Of course, you could do it before you cut it. It's up to you. Just going to go in and burnish on every score line. These, you're going to go in and then back out because it's forming a little gusset. Okay, and again in. There you go. In this way and then fold the 1/2 back out that way and burnish that line. Okay. Now, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it back over. And this is going to become a front pocket. So what we're going to do is take this and fold it up this way. There we go. And now what I did, just for a little bit of, well, okay, we're going to fold it, sorry guys, we're going to fold it back that way. Like I said, I didn't write anything down, so I'm like going ahead and then I'm thinking of what I need to backtrack and do. Okay. First thing you're going to do is right along this line, just a little bead of glue. A nice strong glue. This, I believe, is art glitter glue. But that, and any kind of a good glue like that. Now, you can use tape for a pocket like this. I don't recommend it, and I will try to explain why. This is how I heard it said. Glue will dry. So if I use this glue in here and then it's dry, I got to put something in, it's fine. It's just going to slide because there's no moisture. It's all completely dry. If you use tape, tape never dries. So if I use tape and a little bit of adhesive like is loose, if I stick something in here, it may stick and get ruined. So your best bet is to just use a little bead of glue and not a lot. And then what we're going to do is take this and just partially, I guess, leave about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch showing like this. And I glued down the corner of that as well, just the corner part, to kind of keep it a little puffy, although I'm sure in mailing it's, and just hold that for a second or two. In mailing, I'm sure it's going to fall down, but that's okay. Just want to hold that until, there we go. And then the only other place you want to glue is right here. You don't have to close this part up, but I prefer to just make it nice and complete there. Because the only thing, like I said, I put in the front of mine was a card for her, for my swap partner. So, okay. So there's that piece. Now we're going to flip it over this way. And sorry I got the sniffles, allergies, guys. This is going to come in this way and form your inside pocket. So again, with your glue, or this, you can use tape here if you wanted to. It just has to be thinner than the piece that you're sticking down, so no adhesive sticks out. I usually do one side and then the other. It all depends on how you're comfortable. But you want to, I don't know if you can see this, but you want to bring it and butt that right up to your score line and then press down to close that side. Okay. And then we're going to do our other side. And again, you're going to kind of move your little gusset there so it lines up just on the inside of that score line. And the reason that you're doing that, and you can also hold up your side and like butt it up against it just to make sure that your spines can close. Okay, and as you can see, here we already have the main base of our folio. Okay. Now, these are, if I can get this pin in here, the pin does not want to go in the glue. Okay. Here are spots, like if you don't have double-sided paper, here you could mat it with another paper. And on the insides, you could also mat it. I love the way these flowers look on this side, but that's if you don't have double-sided paper. Now, the first thing, and this is starting to stick. There we go. Make sure they're not stuck down. There you go. So it's a little puffy. So you got a little puffy. I don't know if you can see that. Little puffy pocket. There we go. Now, on this side, I made a little belly band to hold some envelopes. This is just a strip, one of the decorative strips. And what I'm going to do, well, let me see. Yeah, I don't need to measure it. You can measure it if you'd like to, but I'm going to take this and I'm going to go by these little markings here. I'm actually going to just cut it right there. Okay. Because it's going to fold under and you're not going to see it. What you can do to make it easier, you can get your scoreboard back out. See, I knew I needed it again. And what you can do is go like 3/4 of an inch. And you can hold it up like this. Hold your piece there. And just kind of see where else you need to put another score line. There we go. Okay. Or you can just bend it. It's whatever's easiest for you. And all you'll do with this is fold these backwards this way. Now, if you'd like, you can also angle these cuts a little bit just to make it easier to slide things in and out. Sometimes I have a tendency to get hung up just on the little ends. Okay. And if you're having thicker envelopes, you can also leave like an 1/8 of an inch gusset if you wanted to for those. Now again, either use your tape or your glue on both little tabs here. And also choose which side you want on the outside. I really like this, fancy. And I'm just going to go kind of right there, I think, with mine. Okay. Make sure it's on this side of your score line, again, so it doesn't hinder that from closing. And on the one that I made for my partner, I had used 2 thick pieces of elastic here, but instead of that for this one, I just have another cut apart that I am going to measure down and just make one wide band over here because I have a longer envelope I want to put in there. So again, this time I'm going to pull out my scoreboard and I'm going to measure this. It is 3 3/4 inch wide, this piece is. So I know if I do an inch, and then 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3/4, and then over another inch. There we go. There. That should be the right width. Okay. So again, that's go over an inch, and then go over 3 3/4, which is the width of that, your page. Make a score line and go over an inch. You're just going to score, that's where you're going to cut. It's just an easy way to remember. Okay. And you can use a paper trimmer or scissors or a craft knife, whatever is best for you. And here, it doesn't matter if you leave the score line or not. Again, you're not going to see it. So we're going to fold these back and burnish them. I'm trying to make this not too long. I hope I'm succeeding. It's a really simple project. And then once again, we're going to cut in on our corners a little bit. Okay. And we're pretty much done. You can decorate a little bit if you'd like. But remember, the whole object is to keep it as flat as possible. At least that's the overall objective. Okay. And then this one, I'm going to put this one